All right, welcome to Eat More Football, the show that satisfies your craving for hot takes. We are back. I mean, this is one of the last episodes, guys. We've all been busy. You got to understand. We do have lives, surprisingly. It doesn't look like it,
Yeah.
right? But, so everything's been busy with school. I mean, school just got out, tail end. But yeah, I mean, we're going to try to get more stuff out, especially since just trying to milk the college football season, right? We're so
Yeah.
close to being done. We just got to milk it. So, um, yeah, no, it's been a great run. We're missing Craig today. Craig had some stuff to do, but we are here. That's all that matters, right? So we will get right into it with This Week in Sports. Let's do it. All right, This Week in Sports, the hottest thing. It's not necessarily this week because it's been like forever since this happened, but Deion has gone to Colorado. I don't think we talked about it on the show. Deion Sanders is leaving Jackson State, going to Colorado, already starting to build a pretty good recruiting class. Compared to where Colorado has been. I mean, I think their max games that they've won in the past 10 years has been like 4 or somewhere around there. So they've been pretty trash,
I think they made I think Mel Tucker was their coach at one point and they won like 9 games or something. I don't know.
Really. I would be surprised at that. But still, anyways, they've been really bad. So I think that's a really good hire in Deion Sanders. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. Um, so yeah, I mean that's that. No, I'm sure Noah's looking it up right now or something. But so next on the docket, early signing day is Wednesday, the 21st, as of recording. So I'll go through a little bit with the rankings. Some shifting has gone on, a lot more than I thought when I checked. So Alabama comes out at number 1, Georgia number 2, Texas number 3. It's because Arch Manning. Miami at number 4. Big jumpers, big jumpers. Ohio State comes in at 5, LSU 6, Oklahoma 7 somehow, Oregon 8, Notre Dame 9, Tennessee 10, USC 11, Clemson 12, Florida 13. We'll go through 20. Penn State 14, A&M 15 somehow, Michigan 16, Florida State 17, South Carolina 18, TCU 19, Auburn 20 somehow. Not entirely sure about that one. So yeah, that's not a whole lot of surprises so far with early signing day. There have been a couple that are like, oh,
You.
didn't know that happened, but not anything huge yet. We still have a long ways to go, guys. So we'll keep you posted on that. So yeah, cool. I mean, this episode is primarily dedicated to bowl picks, right? Because that's the main thing that's coming up. So yeah, I mean, we'll do a little bit of winner chicken dinner for the bowl game so far, right? So we will jump right into that, and then we will have our last guest picker on the show for this season. Let us get right into it with winner chicken dinner. All right, I will start it off, sadly, with, my winner chicken dinner. I'll kind of encompass this with a little bit of bowl game recap so far. I mean, not much has happened, not anything super interesting. Troy beat UTSA, UAB beat Miami, Ohio in a great game where he was like 4 yards short, right? Oregon State put the beat down on Florida. Louisville beat Cincinnati. Fresno State beat Washington State. Southern Miss beat Rice. They did not lose to food. Good job. BYU beat SMU by 1, and Boise State beat North Texas. Marshall beat UConn. Eastern Michigan beat San Jose State, and Toledo beat Liberty. I changed my pick to Liberty last minute. Not a good pick. So, yeah. Or maybe I did change my pick to Toledo. I don't remember. Whatever. So,
They're all the same.
anyways, yeah. So my winner chicken dinner. the Oregon State Beavers, who just they pooped on us. There's no other way to describe that. I mean, we did not score a point until the last quarter, the last 10 minutes of the game. I think it was less than that. And, all the Florida fans were like, yes, we still haven't been shut out in however many years. So good for us for keeping that streak alive. I think it was 470, maybe 450 something days that Pat McAfee said since Florida's been shut out, which is fantastic. Good for us, right?
It was only 3 points.
It would have been 0 if Adam Mahalik had missed that kick. So Jack Miller for Florida, I'm talking about, 13 for 22, 180 yards. That's literally the most mediocre stats ever. You can only do so much as a first start. Our defense was actually playing well. We held them to 7 points in the first, and they made it to 10 at halftime, but then we just kind of let go and they scored 13 in the third and 7 in the fourth. But Oregon State played a great game. Florida is great at running the ball. That was our thing. And they held us to almost no rushing yards. I mean, it was very Georgia-esque to watch. So props to Oregon State. That is my winner chicken dinner.
I'm going to go with running back for Southern Miss, Frank Gore Jr. He's the son of one of the longest lasting NFL players ever, Frank Gore. He had one of the only dominant performances in both seasons so far, besides Steve.
Yeah.
21 carries, 329 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. That is crazy. You rarely see that anymore. A 300-yard rushing game.
Yeah.
But he played outstanding. I'm watching a few of his highlights on ESPN right here. Man, it's crazy. He was just breaking tackles left and right. So
nice.
My winner chicken dinner.
Cool. Good deal. So yeah, that, I mean, not an uneventful bowl season so far. I think it's been pretty good. It's
kind of uneventful.
I mean, it's the beginning of bowl season. What do you expect? But the UAB game, we caught the tail end of that on Friday. And then a couple more games here and there that were pretty okay. So, but I'm telling you, once, Wednesday next week, Tuesday next week, now we're cooking with gas, right? So, yeah. Anyways, that's the bowl week so far recap. So now we will introduce our final guest picker for this season of EMF, the inaugural season of Eat More Football. But he is my mom's friend. I mean, I obviously know him, but our resident Ohio State fan, Alex Jegorzeski. He's a diehard Ohio State fan, not Alabama fan. I don't know why I said that. That's you. Yeah. Whoops. So diehard Ohio State fan. We'll see what he has to say a little bit about the buzz concerning Ryan Day and his possible future at Ohio State. So let us get right into it. He'll make some bowl picks. I'm sure it will be great. So let us get right into it. All right. A big Eat More Football welcome to our final guest picker of the season, our very good Ohio State friend, Alex Jegorzeski. I mean, what else can you have, right? Go Bucks, I guess. I don't even know. But so he is here as our final guest picker. We'll tally up the record and give you guys that and crown the winner as the season comes to a close. So yeah, I mean, we'll just get right into it. But actually, before that, we always do, kind of a ceremonial question and answer type thing with all the guests. So Alex, your question. There's been a lot of buzz about Ryan Day and Ohio State, not a little bit of unsettling waters, around the Ohio State program with him. So what are your thoughts on that? What do you think?
Ryan Day, let's see. He came in, and a lot of people said, "Oh, he's the greatest coach." He's falling right in line with Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel, Luke Fickell for a year, and all of these great coaches. And now, since 2019, he has 0 wins against your rival, which is something Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel took care of. People are calling him Ryan Cooper after John Cooper back in the 90s, wins all the games during the regular season and loses the big one at the end of the year. You know, some Ohio State fans, maybe me, would rather go 1-11 and beat that team up north than 11-1 and lose to that team up north. And that's kind of how we're feeling right now. Former players are saying it's a soft culture in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, their training environment, that it's kind of a country club. It's not a college dedicated stadium. And then you get concerns with what big games has he won. We talk about that team up north the last 2 years. We talk about Michigan last year. We talk about Oregon and just these consistent games and home losses. It gets kind of hard. You're recruiting right now. We got a lot of offensive firepower, but if you take out the wide receivers, it's a top heavy wide receiver class. Where are the linemen? Where are the cornerbacks? You missed out on a running back this year. So we get kind of concerned and worried about that. And what's the direction of the program? What's his signature win? What are we doing? And what kind of culture we have in the Ohio State football department?
Yeah. Nice. That's, yeah, I don't know. There can only be so much from the fans that the program can take, you know? I mean, just like Dan Mullen last year, all the fans were like, okay, yep, it's time for Dan Mullen to go. And I think the AD recognized that and flipped the switch. So I don't know how bad it is in the Ohio State territory, but I mean, if you say it like it is, you know, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. So yeah. I mean, Noah, any additional thoughts on that? Not much.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Josh Pate, he says this a lot. If like he wouldn't have won the national championship last year, people would be questioning him right now. And it's like there's competitive pressure and then there's like hot seat pressure. Because like I don't think if Ryan Day keeps going on this trajectory, like I don't think he'll get fired anytime soon. Like 11-1 playoff is pretty solid season, but like competitive pressure like that eats up on a culture. So
yeah, for sure. Definitely. Cool. Nice. Good to get some insight from Ohio State insider over here. But yeah, cool. On to bowl games. I mean, we haven't made a show in forever. I mean, we've all been super busy, but yeah, I mean, we'll start off with Wake Forest, Missouri, which is this coming Friday, the 23rd. The line is Wake -2. Wake comes in 7-5, Missouri 6-6. It is in Tampa, Raymond James. So we'll go Noah, me, and then Alex in order of the picks. So talk through it. Noah, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Wake Forest on this one. It's on Festivus for the rest of us. But
I understand.
Seinfeld fans right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Wake Forest for the win, just because how bad Missouri is.
Now, I don't think Missouri is as bad as they say. As much as I don't think Missouri should be in the SEC, they should get out. You know, Wake has a 60% chance of winning. Sure. Sam Hartman, as far as we know, is playing, but I think Brady Cook is playing too. So that, you know, that doesn't really necessarily matter that much. But I think Missouri is on a hotter streak than not. I think at the end of the season, I mean, they managed that win against Arkansas. I mean, they blew out New Mexico State, but Wake Forest, they lost to Duke. That was their last game. So I think they're going to need to bounce back, but I think Missouri can handle it. And especially with that game against Georgia, you know, we know their potential. So I'm going to go Mizzou, but it's going to be close. So.
I mean, I'm going to split difference here. I'm taking Wake Forest. What do we know about Missouri? We all hang our hats on the fact that they lost closer to Georgia earlier this year. Other than that, what do we have? I like Coach Clausen. He's a Bowling Green guy. I'm a Bowling Green guy as well. He's an offensive guy. I think he's going to be good this year. I think Wake Forest is going to pull it out by probably 2 scores.
Nice. Great pick. All right. Next up on the list, we have Wisconsin 6-6 versus Oklahoma State 7-5. Wisconsin comes in favored, surprisingly, -3.5. It is close, but still. That is Tuesday, December 27th. I am not sure. I probably should have looked all this up, but of all the opt-outs, I think Spencer Sanders is gone, if I'm not mistaken. I think he declared for the draft or transferred, right? Maybe fact check me on that, but
Up right now.
Wisconsin has a 53.3% chance of winning. It is the guaranteed rate bowl. How about that? That's always fun. So yeah, I mean, Wisconsin averaging 26.5 points a game, Oklahoma State 31.8. I'm not sure. Wisconsin, it's Big Ten defense, so hopefully, that will stick. But Noah, did you get the answer to that?
He's in the portal, so I don't know if that means he's gonna play.
Interesting.
I don't know how that works.
I don't think that'll be I don't think it'll be a defining factor anyways, because it hasn't mattered this whole season. But yeah, because So anyways, Noah, start us off. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Wisconsin because they have a lot more to play for. Oklahoma kind of crashed and burned after the season. We saw what happened in Manhattan, Kansas. Oof, that was rough. So yeah. Wisconsin has a pretty bright, have a good head coach coming in, Luke Fickell. Probably going to bring in some better recruiting classes. So go with the Badgers.
I agree. I'll take Wisconsin.
Hey, I'm taking he's gone. But basically, so I'm thinking Wisconsin's going to win this one in a close one.
Nice. Good pick. All right. Next up, we will do if internet actually decides to show up, unlike Florida in the bowl game last week. Decided not to show up. All right, we'll go through these a little quicker since, we don't want to spend too much time on this. But, all right, Kansas versus Arkansas. Somehow Kansas is 6-6. I did not realize that. I remember a time when Kansas was 6-0, and they decided to just lose every game, lose out. Might as well pull a Jags or something. So Kansas, Arkansas, both are 6-6. That's the AutoZone Liberty Bowl in Memphis. That is, what day is that? Wednesday, December 28th. Arkansas comes in -3, and I think everyone is playing, as far as I know. Arkansas has a 57.8% chance to win. Who you got?
Going to go with Arkansas. These are two of the most likable programs in the SEC. Kansas is not in the SEC, just in college football in general. Kansas is likable because they always suck, and now they're in a bowl game. And people just like Sam Pittman a lot on Arkansas. So I think Arkansas will win, though. They play a lot more physical and have better athletes. And so,
yeah.
We'll pick.
As much as I hate to say, I've been high on Kansas all season. Me and Craig have both been super high on them, but we've also been high on the Boss Hog. So who's it going to be is the question. Going to have to go with the SEC Boss Hog. He's going to, yes, sir, just like that. He's going to, I'll take him, YOLO, might as well. Anyways, Alex, who you got?
Kansas is a great team. Lawrence, everything you think about. Problem is, I'm talking about the basketball team. Definitely Arkansas on this one. Kansas football haven't won in a couple months. Get out of here. They're on the basketball season.
Yeah, seriously. Oof. Anyways, who knows? Bowl season is crazy. I'd like to see Kansas win. I think it'd be fun, but I think Boss Hog is going to wreck them. So, all right. Next, Texas Tech at 7-5, Ole Miss at 8-4. that is the same day as the Kansas game, Wednesday. And that is in the Texas Bowl in Houston. So that is very much a home game for Texas Tech. Ole Miss comes in favored by 3.5. And the question is the percent to win. Ole Miss has a 61% chance of winning. Who you got?
It's in Houston, and Jerry Maguire has built a pretty good program in Texas this year. So I'm going to go with the Red Raiders. Texas Tech always does pretty well in bowl season. I remember last year they kind of killed Mississippi State. Bowl game.
That is true. Yeah.
The Raiders.
Nice. I like that pick. I like it. But Ole Miss coming off a very bad loss against Mississippi State, 24-22, on a very bad call by the refs. I think they have a lot to play for. I think both teams have a lot to play for. It is at home for Texas Tech, coming off of that win at Oklahoma, the overtime, 51-48. But I'm a homer, right? As has already been established, apparently. So I'll go with Ole Miss, hotty toddy.
All right, I'm breaking another tie here. Texas Tech, what do we know about them? They're like the 5th team in Texas. Who cares? Ole Miss, SEC, Lane Kiffin gets it done. Texas Tech, you're the 5th best team in Texas. That's all I have to say. Ole Miss, SEC, Ole Miss wins this one.
Nice. Good pick. All right, next up, number 20. We're into the ranked teams now. Oh, we've breached the gap, finally. This one is Thursday, the day after. So and this is a night game, 9 p.m. Number 20, Texas comes in at 8-4 versus number 12, Washington, ranked honestly too high. I didn't know they were 10-2, but number 12, Washington, in San Antonio. So obviously another home game for Texas. Texas comes in -4 in the Valero Alamo Bowl. Who you got?
I think I might go with Washington on this one. They have a very good quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., who I'm pretty sure he's coming back next season. So I feel like they have more to play for than Texas does. So, and in the bowl games, that's really all that matters, is who has the most motivation at the end of the year. So, Huskies.
Nice. Good pick. I've been accused by Craig. Once again, Craig is just dropping names, of being a Texas homer. And it all depends on how Quinn Ewers plays. If Quinn Ewers plays well and doesn't throw like a million interceptions and, actually finds out how to be a quarterback, then I think Texas is going to win the game. Bijan Robinson is the best running back in college football, right? I think there's very little doubt about that. And I think, their receiving core is fantastic. They have been slinging the ball around the field all season. So I'm going to play into it. Hook 'em. Go Longhorns. I'll take him.
Here we go. This is 2 quarterbacks that scare me. Quinn Ewers, once an Ohio State guy, handed the ball off a couple times, left and went back home to Texas. Michael Penix Jr., last time I saw him playing, Big Ten teams, he was at Indiana. He lit up Ohio State. And again, that COVID shortened season, back when Indiana had their good offense. Here's the thing about it. Texas says they're back. They keep saying they've been back. Now they're 4 losses. Michael Penix Jr., he's going to come in a home game, essentially, for Texas. It's going to be an offensive shootout. I think Michael Penix is going to get the ball at the end of the game, go on a game-winning drive. 1-score game, offensive shootout. Bijan Robinson is awesome. Both quarterbacks are awesome. Ewers has a turnover late, and Penix gets it done.
Nice. Statistics. Acting like John Candido for any top 20 members watching. All right, next. Taxslayer Gator Bowl at home for Noah and I. Yeah, wish we could have gone to this one. That would have been a nice EMF on the road. But
that would be fun.
It is. Yeah, he'll be out of town. I'll probably be out of town anyways. So number 21, Notre Dame coming in at 8-4, and 19, South Carolina also coming in at 8-4. It's going to be a good game. I like this matchup. Notre Dame comes in -2, and they have a 67% chance to win this game. Who you got?
Yeah, I am a big fan of Shane Beamer. I think he's very funny. I think he's built a great culture in Columbia, South Carolina. But Notre Dame has the athletes that South Carolina may not have. With that being said, give me the Gamecocks. South Carolina will win
Yes, I see.
by a field goal.
Field goal game. Nice. Spencer Rattler needs to play well. I think a lot of people doubted him after the Tennessee game. They said, who the heck is this? He's not going to come back. And in the Clemson game, granted, it wasn't spectacular like the Tennessee game, but he still played pretty well. So, I think he has the capability to continue this streak. I don't know how practice has gone, but who knows? I'm going to take the Gamecocks. Woohoo, SEC.
This is a hard one for me. Where I was at the Ohio State Notre Dame game earlier this year at the Shoe, and Notre Dame doesn't do well against athletic quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud, not necessarily runner, but good quarterback. Caleb Williams torched Notre Dame, and now we have Spencer Rattler, who could have 5 touchdowns or he could have 5 turnovers. I don't know which one it's going to be this week, but I'm going to say bowl game. They're playing loose. I'm going to go South Carolina over Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to try to make it uglier. They're going to try to bully them on the lines. They've got the great tight end and Mayer. I'm not sure if he's opted out or not, but he'll probably be one of the first tight ends this year. I'm going to say everything, though. South Carolina, Spencer Rattler gets it done. He's going to have a big day. That being said, now that I've chose South Carolina, he's probably going to have 3 turnovers, but, go Gamecocks.
Nice. Good pick. All right. After that game is it the same channel? Yes, ESPN. Thank goodness. Friday. That game is Friday, by the way. Next game up on Friday, number 6, Tennessee versus number 7, Clemson. Both come in with 2 losses. Tennessee with 10 wins, Clemson with 11. And Clemson comes in -6. And I think that's because Tennessee has a lot of those players, opting out of that bowl game, trying to go to the draft. I'm kind of on that bus, so maybe that alludes to my pick later. But Noah, who you got? Tennessee. Yeah, I said Clemson comes in -6. Tennessee has a 57% chance to win, though, and that is the Capital One Orange Bowl.
It is.
Two orange teams in the Orange Bowl. So
that's right. Also, 2 of my least favorite teams in the Orange Bowl. But yeah, whatever. See, earlier I was talking about it's all about who cares more in this game. I think Clemson has a lot more to look forward to because they got Cade Klubnik. They don't have to get DJ Ukulele out here to throw 5 interceptions. And Tennessee, I feel like they might be a little down since their season ended with such a rough end. So I think Clemson's going to win by 2 touchdowns.
Nice. I got Clemson. Yeah, I agree. I got Clemson. I think with those opt-outs, that's going to hurt Tennessee, and especially missing Hendon Hooker, who is a fantastic quarterback, very underrated, especially, all things considered. So I got Clemson. I really do. I think it'll be a lopsided game, and Tennessee has no defense. So, yeah.
I like that pick. I'm going with Clemson as well. I think Clemson had Breezy and maybe a couple linemen opt out as well. Hooker's still out from my understanding. He tore his, so he's done. Clemson's got Keeb, and I think Clemson's going to get it done without the distractions. Now that DJ's gone, I think Clemson gets it done.
Nice. I like Cade Klubnik too. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. I think that'll be an interesting story to follow. All right, let us go on. We'll just rattle these off. We don't have a lot to go into, I think, but New Year's Six Bowls, we'll just go one by one, not much elaboration. Saturday, December 31st, number 5, Alabama versus number 9, Kansas State. Both have 10 wins. Alabama comes in favored -6.5, and it is in New Orleans, Louisiana. And Bryce Young and Will Anderson are playing.
Yes.
So, Noah, who you got?
Roll Tide. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, as it goes. Yeah, I got Alabama. Easy. I think Kansas State will fight, but it'll be Alabama to win and cover, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alabama wins this one big. They start off slow, but they just got superior athletes. I think Alabama's backups could be Kansas State. That's just how great they recruit. I think Alabama wins big. They might not be motivated. It's a letdown bowl game for their expectations, but they're still going to win and take care of business.
Nice. We'll skip over Iowa, Kentucky for time's sake, but that'll be a great game. Anyways, all right, we are now in the playoffs. Number 3, TCU comes in at 12-1. Number 2, Michigan comes in at 13-0, undefeated. Are they the only undefeated team in college football?
You got Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. Well, no one cares about them. So Michigan comes in -7.5. Yeah. And make your pick. Michigan comes in 66% chance to win, and that is in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. So
yeah, I got Michigan. They're way more physical than TCU. I'm a fan of Max Duggan. I think he's a strong quarterback, as you saw against Kansas State. But yeah, they just line up so much better than TCU does.
Yep, I agree. I got Michigan. Go Blue. I like their running game. I mean, and if TCU, no offense, does anything like Ohio State somehow managed to do, and just do that, I'm not going to reference anything other than but then I think Michigan's going to win by a lot more than people think. Even though I love TCU, very physical team, very strong quarterback in Max Duggan, should have won the Heisman in my opinion. But yeah, I got Michigan. Go Blue.
I think Michigan has athletes and depth compared to TCU. You remember Ohio State sold out to stop the run, and Michigan had 1.9 yards per carry in the first half against my Buckeyes. Problem is, they sold out to stop the run, and they made J.J. McCarthy look like the next Tom Brady. I think, all the signs point to Michigan winning this game, having a stronger run game. Max Duggan gets it done. Can never pick that team up north. TCU gets it done.
Nice. I wouldn't be the most unhappy if TCU won. I've always rooted for TCU, especially this year. Like
I'm rooting for TCU.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be nice. But I'd also like Michigan to win because I like Michigan. So, anyways, Ohio State, Georgia, the matchup, right? Classic. Number 4, Ohio State, 11-1. Georgia, number 1 in the country, 13-0. And Georgia comes in -6.5. They got a 57% chance to win. Noah, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, I know many Ohio State fans, and I met one today. So there we go. That's another one. But I don't know. I think Georgia's going to win. Georgia is, in my opinion, going to be back-to-back national champions. They're so good, and it's very disappointing because I don't like them. But yeah, I think Georgia's going to win by 14 plus, in my opinion.
I don't like picking Georgia, but I got Georgia. I mean, mainly because I really don't want to see a Michigan-Ohio State rematch. I think that wouldn't end well, but
I would love to see an Ohio State-Michigan rematch in the national championship. That'd be so cool.
I feel like Ohio State would win like big. Like it'd be a lot harder for Michigan to win again if Ohio State made it through. But I also think Georgia is going to beat the snot out of Ohio State in some way, shape, or form. I think it will look worse than it actually is on TV, but and I think Ohio State's a very talented bunch, but Georgia, they're so off and on, but I got Georgia. After that LSU game, that was pretty nasty to watch. So, yeah.
I think for Ohio State, Georgia, whoever wins that game will win the national championship. I think that's kind of like the Alabama-Ohio State game was in the first college football playoffs. Whoever won that game was going to win the national championship over the Oregon-Florida State winner. We see a bunch of things about Ohio State. We said they're a finesse team. They can't get it done. They can't run the ball against physical teams. They can't get domination. This is a question I have for everyone. Would Georgia rather be playing Michigan, TCU, or Ohio State in their first game in a playoff if they had to pick? And I'm thinking it's probably not Ohio State. Why? Georgia has the 51st or 52nd ranked pass defense. Some of you might say, hey, they're not a very good pass defense compared to what they are. Some people might say, well, they get ahead so quickly that teams have to throw on them. And that's why their numbers are inflated in the passing game. I think for Ohio State to win, Georgia or CJ Stroud is going to have to run the ball. And he's been scared to run the ball all year. Is it scared? Is Ryan Day telling him not to? I don't know. They don't know the answer. Ryan Day is going to have to play loose. He hasn't done that all year. He's, for lack of better words, puckered up and against big time opponents the last few years. So is he going to let his athletes? Is he going to throw the ball? Where are we going to run 2-yard screen passes or for negative yard? Because Georgia has the athletes to defend them. So Ryan Day is going to have to come out. I think Jim Knowles should have some tricks. Ohio State's been pretty good at covering the tight ends. But again, Ohio State's cornerbacks aren't that great. So can Ohio State win in a close game? I think so. Could Georgia also blow them out by 3 touchdowns? Yeah. But if I had to make a choice here, I'm going to go Georgia wins and by about 10 points. And I think either way, if Ohio State or Georgia wins, whatever team beats the winner of the Michigan TCU game by 2 touchdowns in the national championship. Whoever wins Ohio State, Georgia will win the national championship.
Nice. That's a great take. Hot take. That's what we're here for. This is the show that satisfies your craving for hot takes.
That's right.
Honestly, that's probably like, we don't really do a lot of hot takes. They're mainly just bad takes. But like that was probably our first actual hot take of the entire show, and we've been running since 0. so I'll take it. No, that's a great pick. Nice. So yeah, let's get through. I think there are a couple more after.
There's 2 more New Year's 6.
2 more? Okay.
Cotton Bowl and Rose Bowl.
Cotton Bowl and Rose Bowl. Nice. So let us go through. I think USC is one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. All right, cool. Let's do it. So number 16, Tulane versus number 10, USC, both come in at 11-2. Dang, Tulane is actually good. I'm now realizing. USC comes in -2.5. Who you got?
Yeah, I got to go with USC. I'm sure there's going to be some opt-outs or whatever, but they're just so much better. And what are they, 11-2?
Yep.
Yeah, 11-2 in the Pac-12 is a lot different than 11-2 in the American, in mine. Even though the Pac-12 is a little weak.
Yep.
They're still Power 5. So I think USC wins pretty easily.
I agree. Yeah, I got USC. Yeah, I got the Trojans. Yeah.
Here's what it comes down to me. USC is a better team. Do they care to be in this bowl? A week or 2 ago, they were playing for their playoff spot and Pac-12 title. They've lost both of those things. Caleb Williams is awesome. I don't know if he's playing. He looked a little got injured in that last game. If he plays, I think USC is a much better team. I think they're going to still take care of business, but in a close one because they don't care to be here compared to what their goals were a couple weeks ago.
Nice. All right. And I think the last, we got 2 more. So number 17, LSU comes in at 9-4 versus Purdue, the Boilermakers, with Drew Brees as their new assistant coach in some way, shape, or form. He's some interim assistant for something, position coach, or I don't know. But they're 8-5. LSU comes in -14. Yeah.
Yeah, LSU -14. I think they'll cover. Yeah. Purdue is a tricky team, but like, I don't know. I think their luck has kind of run out. So as much as I hate to pick on LSU,
the Spoilermakers will not be able to defend the SEC. So I got LSU, sadly. Yeah.
Look, we talk about the Spoilermakers. You know, this is kind of game they live in because what do they have to lose? That being said, LSU has some good wins this year. They've got some bad losses this year. Purdue played in the Big Ten West. They have nobody that I'd say, wow, that was an impressive win this year. LSU is going to win. I don't think they cover, though. I think Purdue can hang around for a little bit, kind of like they did in the Big Ten championship game against Michigan. I think Purdue hangs around, but they are not going to win.
If LSU doesn't cover, I will laugh audibly. Ha 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 ha. Because I think that would be funny. So, anyways, last one, the Rose Bowl. That is the game, right? 5 p.m. ESPN, Pasadena, California. Number 11, Penn State coming in at 10-2 versus number 8, Utah at 10-3. Utah comes in -2.5.
Give me the Utes. I think Utah is a team that everyone likes just because they beat Caleb Williams and his fingernails. So yeah, I think Utah wins. I don't know. Penn State is a solid team. I don't think they do anything like particularly well. Like they're just a solid team. I think Utah plays pretty physical.
They run the ball. That's what they
do.
do well. Nick Singleton is the
Nick
next
Singleton.
Saquon Barkley. Change my mind. He's a very good running back. That being said, I'll take Utah.
James Franklin talks about being elite. He talks about every year, how do we get from that level? Well, he hasn't beat any elite teams. Utah, I don't know that they've won a Rose Bowl. Last year, they had that shootout with Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. This year, I think they get it done in the Rose Bowl. I think this is gonna be one of my favorite bowl games, though. Right here, I think this is gonna be a good game. I'm choosing Cam Rising over Sean Clifford. Go Utes.
Sean Clifford is old. That should be a game day sign. Just Sean Clifford is old, right?
He's 30, but
yeah, he's so old.
Cam
Rising, like a Vietnam War vet.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, cool. All right, and those are the bowl games. And with that, the 2022 season will come to an end, right? So yeah, crazy. It's been a crazy season. So, and the national championship is in California. Whoopee.
It's kind of lame.
Sure. Yeah, it is.
Remember to bet your mortgage on that Ohio State Georgia winner to win that national championship game.
Ah, yes. All right. Well, thank you to our last guest picker of the season. It's been a short break since we've had one, but you are our last guest picker. So thank you, Alex, for coming on and making.
Thank you all for having me. It's been great.
Yeah. No, of course, anytime. So yeah. We will see what happens in the playoffs for the Bucks. Who knows, right? So, anyways, yeah, cool. We will now move on to Tales from the Top 20. All right, Tales from the Top 20. I will be working this since Craig is not here. I'll be trying to work through this spreadsheet. Look at this. I mean, Craig put so much effort into this. Look at this madness. I don't even know how to read it. So I'll be struggling to work through this. I don't have any dog ate my homework. Craig had told us that someone's dog ate their homework. You remember in the group chat? Maybe that was someone else, but I remember him saying someone. So someone did. Someone's dog ate their homework, but I don't know who it was.
Shame on you, someone.
And I don't think it was John Cha. John Cha really? Has actually had one of the best records so far.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's unfair. That's what it is. It's unfair. The 1 week you
come in like the bottom of the list this year.
Well, Noah, as of right now, well, first of all, John Cha has no chance of winning. And it's also not true that he has one of the best records. He's missed 4 games so far. But still, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 7-4 so far. So it's, it's not awful. Mary Beth actually has the best record, and Mary Beth and Craig are tied 9-2 so far this bowl season. And then coming in second place in records is Carrie Beth Russell. Let's see, Carrie Beth Russell, Noah, and Caleb at 8-3.
All right.
And then the 7-4 people, John Candito, still holds his first place spot by 1 game. One game. It's a tight race, everybody. Carrie Beth and Russell are actually tied for second at 200, and John Candido is at 201. So it's very narrow. So 7-4, John Candido, Ted, Jerry, Dan, Matt, Darren, Lucy, and John Cha. They're at 7-4 for the bowl season. 6-5, Delane, Jake, Tammy, me, Stephen, Juan, David, and that's it for 6-5. And 5-6, we have Lindsay, Jeff, Steve, and Larry and Dean are at 5-6. And the worst record is 2-9, which is Justin and Jason. Two people sit at 2-9 on the bowl season so far.
Wow, that's exquisite.
Which is very bad. So
how did that happen? I literally picked, I knew none of these teams. I just picked whoever was favored, and I'm like, what do they do? Just close our eyes?
Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, almost everyone missed the Jackson State pick except for Dean, who picked North Carolina Central. So yeah, good for him. It was Jason whose dog ate his homework. Jason, your dog ate your homework, not John Cha. So good for John Cha. A lot of people picked Southern Miss. Everyone got that right except for Dean, who picked food. Everyone got Boise State right except for John Cha, who picked UNT. A lot of it was like that. So yeah, yep. So that is the update for the top 20 so far. It's very close. It's going to come down to the wire, not with me and not with Noah. We're both kind of out of it at this point. I mean, statistically, I'm not out of it, but I'm just not going to pick well. I can see it in my future. So anyways, hopefully we can do another show, maybe a national championship show, right? Or something like that. Hopefully, if we're not busy. But so yeah, good episode. We always have fun, never a dull moment. So
before we end, I'm looking up Austin On. We talk about Sean Clifford being old. He's 24. Austin On is 29 years old.
There we go.
He was drafted in the second round of the 2012 MLB draft by the Yankees. Played 6 seasons and is now playing college
football.
Football for North Texas. What the heck?
Wow. Dang, that's a story.
Yeah, that's just a story. How did we not? I literally talked about Austin On for like 3 weeks straight. How did I not know this?
Yeah, that's insane. Wow. Who knows?
Right.
Man. Wow. One of the oldest players in college football, if not the oldest. So anyways, yeah, as I said, good show, never a dull moment. We always enjoy making it, pushing out stuff to you guys. Even if we have no time, it still is fun to just talk shop with the guys and everything. So yeah.
Talking shop.
Yep, talking shop, right? So yeah, cool. Good episode. We look forward to the next time we do an episode, right? Because it's schedule and balancing and working on bowl game stuff. So hopefully we'll get to do a national championship episode. And in the meantime, Merry Christmas. It's almost Christmas. This episode will be released before Christmas, I promise, right?
Okay.
So Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year. And we will see everyone in the next episode of Be More Football. God bless.